You're listening to the Hunt Suburbia podcast. I'm your host, Pat Guyette. Big bucks I've been dreaming often, every night till I'm in a coffin. Vermont woods to the burbs of Boston, I'm looking for a tree to get lost in. Crisp mornings, little dust in the snow. Quality time, just me and my bow. Fall evenings, I know just where to go for some quality times for me and my bow. It's just me and my bow. This episode is brought to you by the Northeast Big Buck Club. All right, this week I sit down with Christine Moffat. She killed a giant buck out of upstate New York with her bow last year. It scored 173 3/8 inches, and it was the biggest buck that Northeast Big Buck Club has ever scored that has been taken by a female hunter. She is a great person, great conversationalist. She gets into a lot of great hunting strategy. She's killed many bucks, many deer over her lifetime. And she's got a lot of great knowledge to share with you guys, and she's going to tell that story of this great big giant buck. We'll post a picture of that up on Instagram, but let's get right into it here from upstate New York, bow hunter Christine Moffat. Okay, we got another episode of Hunt Suburbia podcast. Sitting here with Christine Moffat from upstate New York. How you doing, Christine?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you very much for coming. It's my pleasure. We're here for the Northeast Big Buck Club banquet. Christine shot a beautiful buck. Scored, 173 3/8?
It did, yes.
In upstate New York with a bow, correct?
A crossbow.
Crossbow.
Yes. Yep.
So how long have you been hunting with a crossbow? Or bow in general?
With a bow in general, probably over 30 years. I've hunted over 35 total. I've only hunted with a crossbow for 3-4 years.
Yep. And is
just recently.
You wanted to switch from pulling back a compound or?
Yeah, I actually had herniated discs in my neck.
Yep.
So I still hunt with a compound because you can't stop.
Yeah.
But it just got hard. It's harder.
Yeah.
So crossbow was a little bit easier.
Yeah. And crossbow is still a bow.
Right.
It's absolutely still a bow.
Right.
So I have a so we want to talk about your 173-inch buck because that's amazing. But I have a hunch that you've killed a lot of big bucks in your life. Is that right?
I've got a few on the wall, and actually I've won the Northeast Big Buck Club award before.
Oh, wow.
In 2003, I believe it was.
Okay. And what is the actual award that you're winning?
For the biggest buck shot by a woman with a bow.
With a bow.
Yeah.
Yep. And typical, or do they? I don't know. Do they parse it out by typical, non-typical?
I don't think they do, but I'm not certain actually.
Yep. That's awesome. That's really cool. So that one's up on the wall too. The 2003 buck.
It is.
What did that one score? Do you remember?
That one was only a 112 and something.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't exactly remember.
So maybe that was kind of when they, beginning of when they started, and they weren't scoring a bunch of deer or something.
Maybe there weren't a lot of women. At the time, I'm not sure. There's not really a lot of women hunter that I know of.
Yeah. That's a big gap between that and the 173.
There certainly is. You don't see those around where I hunt often.
Well, yeah. So let's talk about that because I'm from Vermont. I grew up hunting in, just over the New York border in, Hubbardton, Castleton, Fairhaven.
Oh yeah.
Vermont area, and so I know the Adirondacks are tough, and it's very similar hunting to where I'm at. Are you hunting in the Adirondacks or?
No, Western New York's a lot. It's closer to Buffalo.
Oh,
it's
okay.
the other end of the state.
Yep.
The other side of the state, I should say. And compared to the Adirondacks, I'm certain we have far more deer.
Oh yeah.
Far more deer.
Yep.
Less bear, I'm sure.
Yep.
But you still don't see 173s.
No.
Often. I mean, I've heard of them. A friend of mine got one. I know behind our land, on the backside of our land, a fellow got a 180.
Wow.
So they are around. You just don't see them very much.
Maybe that's the same genetic pool, huh?
That could be. Could be.
So I've got a friend who lives in Canandaigua and Finger Lake region. So I've been out there and I've seen there's a lot of deer, a lot of agriculture land and stuff. Is that similar to type terrain to where you're hunting?
We actually have a farm.
Okay.
It's only 150 acres, but where we're situated, there's a state forest we're on a dirt road. State forest, 1,000 acres down there. Across the road, there's a couple hundred acres of farmland, and we have farmland. So Yeah, we're right in the middle of farm country.
Yeah, so it sounds like really good deer habitat.
It is. You know,
Yeah.
we have the feed, we have natural feed, the corn, the beans, whatever is grown.
So
the
is
hay.
your farm an active agriculture farm?
It
Like you've
is.
grown
It
beans
is.
and corn?
We have no beans this year. We have corn and hay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's abutting up into, some wooded areas, and
We
is it
have-
hilly at all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, our land is pretty much up or down. There's a gully right through it. We do have some farm fields, but our house like sits on a hill, and you look down into everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have a big gully, and on the backside is a lot of woods.
Yep.
So.
Is
there's
it
woods.
so? Who hunts it? You and your husband, or?
Actually, my husband doesn't really hunt much, to be honest. He used to gun hunt a little. He's never bow hunted.
Yep.
Not his cup of tea.
Yep.
My brother and I hunt together, and pretty much we're the only ones that hunt it.
Yep.
And we hunt a lot. And
Yeah.
he bow hunts too.
Awesome. He's killed some nice ones too.
He sure has.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, he sure has. He didn't start bow hunting until after I did.
Yeah. You got him into it.
Well, I think he realized you can hunt longer, more time,
Yeah.
So.
That's when I first started getting into it. It's first of all, necessity, because I live in suburban Massachusetts, and all I did growing up was rifle and muzzleloader hunting in Vermont at deer camp, and I wanted to be able to hunt closer to home. So you get more opportunity in the suburbs of Boston
Right.
with a bow.
Right.
Pretty much all the opportunity, and it's an extended season, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, and it is. Bow hunting's so much better. You can sit and comfortably sit, I should say. The weather's nicer typically.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And you get to watch their natural behavior a lot. I mean, I want to do some tracking. A lot of guys are talking, get on here and talk tracking. I do want to do some of that at some point too. But you don't get to see the behavior of the deer coming into you
right,
as
right.
much.
And you could sit at my house in a stand, typically see in an afternoon sit 20, 30 deer.
Wow.
Every
Yeah.
day. Every
Yeah.
day. It's just that many. Not big bucks, but you see a lot of deer.
But you guys, do you pass? Do you have a strategy for passing certain types of bucks?
Yeah, my brother and I had started this a long time ago. It has to be outside the ears or it doesn't. It's not a shooter.
Yep.
So if it's not big, we're not going to touch it anyways. We'll let it go.
Yep.
So you get closer in bow, you can look these guys over pretty well. You know what you're shooting at most of the time. Now this buck that I shot, I didn't have a lot of time to look him over. From where he was, he just didn't give me the opportunity, and I hadn't seen him before, and I did not get him on camera.
So you do have cameras up, and
I do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. The person I interviewed last night, they had a buck that came in that they didn't have on camera. They got cameras up, they
Yeah.
inventoried the bucks, and then it happens all the time. Was it November, or when was it that you got them?
It was November, Friday the 13th.
Yep. Oh, what a great
Yeah.
The 11th through the 17th, 19th last year was
Yep. Hot.
prime.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yep. So let's talk about this buck. So where were you hunting? Were you sitting on the edge of a field? Were you up on a ridge?
A lot of the times when I hunt with bow, I'm always on an edge of a field because our fields are butted up to some thick woods or brush.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go in them, you spook anything. So on the edges of the field, you can kind of scoot across the hay field and you don't spook a thing. So I had been seeing deer. I have a ladder stand on this edge of a hay field. In front of me is a brush lot, and it's pretty thick. But I've been seeing deer 50, 80 yards to my right, to my direct right. You can't shoot up there. So I kept seeing them come out, and they'd get in the hay field behind me, but they weren't coming down to me. So the day before I shot him, I was getting pretty bummed out. It'd been 6 weeks. We've been hunting pretty hard. I'd only missed 2 days when it rained, but the day before I just didn't go. My husband said, "Why don't you move up the hedgerow? Where are you seeing them? Get past it." Well, there's really no place to put a stand. So I actually, that morning, I took a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket, took it down, put it in a thorn bush, backed it up in a bush behind an apple tree and sat in it.
Mm.
Got in at 10:45 and just sat there on the edge of, I had the hedgerow on my left, the brush on my right. And I heard a deer. I heard the buck grunting behind me. You can't shoot behind you,
Yep.
So I was trying to turn on the bucket, trying to get him in my sight. Well, when I start, because you turn very slowly, starts to turn, I hear the grunting coming the other way. So I start to turn back, and this doe jumped out in the hayfield, 6-8 feet from me.
Mm-hmm.
She's standing right there. So
You're tucked up into a thick...
thorn bush, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm backed right up into it, and I'm not moving. But I can see her breath out of the corner of my eye. I can see her nose moving.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to hold my breath because I don't want her to see my breath. And I hear him coming, and I see movement in the brush, but I can't see him. Just movement. And he popped out of that hedgerow 10 feet in front of me. 10 feet with his nose on the ground after that doe.
Mm.
And it happened so quick. I raised up my crossbow. He lifted his head halfway. I pull the trigger. He puts his head back down and leaves. He follows her. So I jump up real quick, tried to see where he was going, and I get my feet tangled and I go down. And I knock the wind out of me right on my crossbow. But I'm watching him.
Yeah.
And he acts like he's not hit. And I wanted to cry, His big deer then, I could see it.
10 feet from you.
Oh my God, he was, yeah. I didn't have a chance to think about it. He just popped out.
Did you even have a chance to aim? Like look through the scope?
I did. I was looking kind of under it.
Yeah.
Under the scope. But yeah. I mean, I knew where I was shooting it, and I didn't think I could possibly miss him. He was too close. But like I said, he never acted to hit. Put his head down. He kept going. I finally get up, and I'm looking all over the place. I can't find hair. I can't find blood. I can't find anything. And that goes on for probably half hour. Finally, I called my husband, and I said, I shot this deer. He went kitty crowing across the hayfield toward our cow pasture. Did you see him? He goes, no, but the cows are raising Cain up here. I said, well, I don't want to go up through there because if he's not down, he's going to go across the road. So he comes down the road on the four-wheeler, and there he lay right in the hedgerow.
He saw him there?
He saw, well, he started screaming. I could hear him all the way
Was he
across
dead?
the field. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just didn't bleed at all. There
So-
was 2 drops about 10 foot from where he fell.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. No blood any place.
So you backtracked the whole way and you couldn't find anything?
I walked up through, yeah. Yeah, nothing.
See,
Nothing.
that is so...
The arrow was still in him, so,
Yeah.
no blood. If I hadn't seen that,
Where'd you hit him?
I actually hit him right above the shoulder on the left side, and the arrow come out just above his hip on the right side. It was out, out of the back of him.
So he was kind of quartering to you.
Yeah, he was coming
way up,
almost directly at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he popped out of that brush. Yeah.
Yep. It's so interesting that, and it's a lesson for people listening, that you really do have to spend all day looking for a deer because they don't always bleed. Both the bucks I killed last year, there was, like you said, 1 or 2 drops. And the first one was a complete pass-through. The second one, he had the arrow in him, and then he shed the arrow as he ran. But that first one, two drops. He ended up dying 40 yards from where I shot him, and I saw him drop there, so I knew he was dead. But I got down and went through the whole process, and everybody should do that. Even if they drop in front of you, go down and follow it and see what they're leaving for blood trail or hair or anything. He left nothing, so...
Yeah, there wasn't even hair. It was, like I said, for, I don't know, good 25, 30 minutes at least, I'm looking, no hair, no blood, and looking across the field. Well, there's dips in the hayfield too, so I couldn't really see everything, but I didn't see him laying there. At first, I didn't even want to call my husband because I'm thinking, somehow I missed that buck. I mean, he's there. I couldn't have missed him, but I did.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
He was there. But
just an adrenaline rush, and that's probably what led to you tripping and fall. You're in the middle. You're in the middle of.
Well, this thorn thing that I was sitting in, it was, I don't know, it was just spur of the moment. And when I stood up, it was poking me and stuff. So I think and you're hurrying, like you said, you want to get out in the field. I want to get out there and see where he was going because he didn't act hit.
Yeah.
And I didn't want him to cross the road. That's a lot of land over there to look for. So, but he didn't make it there, so it was all good.
That is awesome. I can't wait to see that buck.
I got him with me.
Yeah, we'll see him at the show.
Yeah.
So, are you rethinking the way you're going to, sometimes hunt from the ground now, potentially, or?
No, it's not the first time I've hunted from the ground.
Yeah.
Actually, I've shot 4 deer with my crossbow, and 3 of them were on the ground. I usually don't like to climb tree stands with a crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that is. I'm sure it's safe. I'm not
heavier.
comfortable with it
Yeah.
myself. So I usually take more time to find a better spot than I did for this one.
Yeah.
But it worked. I was lucky. He was in the right spot. I was in the right spot.
Yeah. That's awesome. We're getting low on battery here, so I'm just going to pause and put new batteries in, and we'll start right back up. The Lanny Benoit podcast will be released, I am hoping, for the first 3 weeks in October. So it's coming. Make sure you get onto YouTube and hit the subscribe button, because I recorded that one on video as well. So we'll be putting that version up on YouTube. And the audio version will go where it always does go. And I'm shooting for 3 weeks in October. If I can get it done earlier, then you might see them pop up in September. Just keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you're subscribed up on YouTube. And please go give us a review on iTunes if you haven't done that yet. Or if you can leave a review on your other apps. Leave a little review. Tell us how you're liking the podcast. And we really appreciate that. And looking forward to dropping a lot of great podcasts this fall. All right, folks, deer season is right around the corner in many states. I mean, it's starting up in less than, just about 2 weeks from now. So get on to www.heronhill.com and stock up on some wine, both for yourselves and, of course, for your wives and your girlfriends. Get them a case of wine and butter them up a little bit before deer season. Give them something to drink at night while they're waiting for you to get down off your stand. You got deer all around you, and you're up there in the dark waiting for them to go away so you can get down from your stand. They got to be enjoying some wine during that time. So stack up, get yourself a case. Go to www.heronhill.com. They'll deliver it right to your door. Make sure you use code HS5 for Hunt Suburbia 5. So code HS5 for an additional 5% off all the volume discounts they already got on there. If you get 6 bottles, you get a volume discount. You get 12 bottles, you get a bigger discount. And then you can add on HS5 for an additional 5% off. These guys have been a great supporter of the podcast. Please support them. Get whatever kind of wines you like, but I like the Eclipse Red. They've got a Game Bird Red that goes really good with game birds and pairs well with venison. It's got a little bit of a fruity taste to it. Go on there, get whatever you like. If you've ordered from them before with code HS5, just go on there and use the volume discounts they already got. It's already an incredible deal, and I'll get credited for the order as long as you use HS5 at least once before. So again, thank you everybody for your support. Tell your wives thank you for letting you get up into the stand a little bit extra this year. All right, we're back. Fresh batteries. So can you describe the buck, what his rack kind of looks like, how many points, things like that, and we'll grab a picture once we get to the actual show, but describe it for the folks.
He's actually a 13 point. He does have 5 3/8 non-typical points, not perfectly uniform, but he's kind of a pretty buck. His brow tines are thick and kind of gnarly looking. It's unique. He's unique.
Got some real thick, bumpy bases there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, almost all the way up the brow tines.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so, yeah. No, I've never seen anything like that in person before until him.
So he's just kind of head and shoulders above any of the deer you've been used to hunting?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. My brother's gotten some probably 140s. I think the highest one that I have on the wall is like 129. Got some 120s, between 100s and 120s a few, but he's by far the biggest that either one of us have gotten.
So a lot of times, right, and especially in smaller towns, farm country, somebody had to have known that deer existed. So did you get other people going, yeah, I had him on camera over here? And
well, everyone does say that when you get a big buck. Oh yeah, I seen him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's accurate all the time. I do know February of 2020, we were watching 3 nice deer across the road.
Yep.
And 2 were big 8s and 1 was a 10 at the time. He was 1,000 yards away. I did my best to get a picture of him, but it was far too far for what I had. Could have been him. Hard to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. But there was 3 nice ones, and my husband's cousin's grandson shot a nice one of them, I believe. And he'll be at the show, I think.
Oh, cool.
I think.
Yeah.
But anyways, my brother found sheds across the road, that pretty nice base sheds the year before. Don't know if them are his either. So, so they're around. You just don't see them very often.
Well, there's a lot of thick bedding cover there, right?
There is, and there's also the Keshequa Creek runs through Sinai State Woods. and it's thick down there. And people do hunt the state woods, but they don't go in all those places.
Yeah.
I mean, so there is a lot. And that Kesselcook butts into a creek of ours that runs down. So I think they get pushed up.
Mm-hmm.
They get pushed right up to us, and we don't push our land. We don't hunt hard. There's not a lot of pressure. My brother and I, we're quiet, and we don't bump them.
And you just, when you're getting to your stand, mostly you're going across your hayfields, right?
Hayfields. Now, we ride four-wheelers a lot for the farm, so the deer are absolutely used to that.
Mm-hmm.
So if we go to the backside of our land, there's such a big gully, you absolutely could walk it, but who would want to?
Yeah.
So we ride four-wheelers to get back there, but it doesn't bother them. A lot of times when I'm hunting and I want to get out of my tree stand, there's always deer around you, always. So you don't want the deer to see you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have my husband come down with a four-wheeler.
Yeah.
And all he does is drive in the field, and the deer just move off.
Yeah.
But they're there every night, so it doesn't bother them.
Yeah, that's smart.
It does not bother them at all.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. Yeah, we don't bump them, we don't push them, we don't drive our woods. Maybe gun season, we might take a leisurely walk. One of us will sit in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
the other will walk the outskirts, but it's not like pushing them.
Yeah, you want to keep them, at ease on your land, right?
Yeah, everyone around us pushes. They hunt hard, but we don't. So it's kind of a quiet area for them.
Yeah.
They sneak in there.
Yeah. I think you said you were listening to the Jim Levasseur episode
Yes,
too. I think
yes,
he was
it was
saying
great.
that his son, he'll have his son sometimes come in and bump deer out because he doesn't want,
Yep.
he doesn't want them to know, oh, there's something big coming down a tree, right? Those deer are gonna be alert to that.
And they know from year to year. I've had deer. I had one stand that I left in the woods, and I've had a doe. She just, every year, for 2 years in a row, would stop and look at that stand. And I know this because I'd be sitting on a bucket on the other side. I watched her. I don't use the stand anymore because obviously she knows it's there. But yeah, they know, so I try not to let them know. And the stand I'm talking about that I had seen the deer in, that's been there 2 or 3 years. And they still are under it, so that theory works.
Yeah, for sure. And now, so what do you pay attention to the wind a lot?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep. Don't hunt there on certain days. Most of the time at our land, we get a west wind.
Yep.
It's 90% of the time,
Mm-hmm.
which is perfect because the west wind hits the hedgerow.
Yep.
So in the brush, I'm good, and in the field, I'm good. So
That's
yeah,
perfect. Yeah.
And on days, we get rare days, we get north wind. You can still hunt that spot, but you can only hunt the brush
Mm-hmm.
because obviously they'd be in the field, they'd get you.
Yep.
But yeah, we hunt the wind.
Now, do you hunt mornings and evenings? Do you mostly evenings? Like, what's your favorite?
My favorite would be absolutely evenings. I do hunt in mornings, like the first couple days, just because you haven't done it in a year and you want to be out there. I have far more luck in the afternoons.
Yeah,
Now,
especially.
my brother has more luck in the mornings, so I guess
But you have to avoid kind of walking through the. You got to change if you're going in the morning in the dark. You're avoiding your hayfield, right?
Right, and they bed there.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really hunt that
So they're
spot.
bedding in there too. Is it high grass hayfield?
No, it's actually cut down hay, and they'll bed right on the edges of it where they can watch. And on one side, on the left side of that field, is the big gully.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have an easy way to get away from you. But yeah, you couldn't walk across there in the morning. You couldn't hunt that in the morning because they'd catch you.
Now, do you guys have a bunch of acorns up on the hill too?
Oh
or-
yeah,
Yeah.
we have acorns.
So they got feed everywhere there.
Yeah. We have fresh. In that particular field, we had new seeding, so they had clover and alfalfa. We did plant beans there once, but the deer ate them before it ever grew. It was gone.
What's their preferred food there?
I think
around your
soybeans
spot? Soybeans
would be their absolute favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll clean a field out quick.
Do you do anything with rattling or calling or?
I used to years ago, but no, I don't anymore. I just, kind of sit and hang out and wait. And I had some bad experiences with scents. I've tried scents and had doe mostly come in and blow up on them, and so I don't do that.
Like extra scents and stuff?
Yeah. So that didn't work for me. I've seen some different bucks that I've tried grunting in, and I've never had any luck. So I just, as you get older, you want to carry less.
Yeah.
So I don't carry it anymore. I don't get into it.
Yeah.
I know people that do. It's just not my thing.
Yeah. So what do you carry in with you for your sits? I mean, are you drinking anything from the stand? Are you eating anything up there?
Absolutely not.
No?
You carry the basics. Your You got your harness and your belts to get your stuff up, and pretty much my bow and...
Rangefinder or
No,
even not with crossbow anymore?
I've hunted there too much. I know where the ranges are, so, I've lived there for a while.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't carry a rangefinder.
Binoculars?
No.
No?
If I'm gun hunting, I have this big gully.
Yeah.
So it goes straight down, maybe 150 feet or so, and then back up the other side. For gun, you could sit there and get them on the other side. So, yeah, I'll probably carry binoculars for that, but not for bow. No.
And what about, like, do you pay attention to scrapes at all or rub lines, and how do you hunt any differently if you do around them?
I do. We do watch them.
Probably right along the edge of the field there, right?
Yeah. The brush in front of that one particular stand, last year they had a half moon rub line right around that stand. It was quite interesting, but he never come out under the stand, so not when I was there. But yeah, I try to stay around them if I have the choice. It's a little harder. I don't use a climber stand anymore. I used to. So most of my stands are ladders.
Yeah, so they're fixed.
Yeah, it's a little harder to move. But with the buckets, I'm telling you, I've had very good luck just going in and sitting down. Not leaving them there, just doing it for the day and then picking up, moving someplace else. It seems to work for me.
Now, do you, are you always trying to get tucked up into a thorn bush, or do you put the bucket sometimes near a big tree, or?
It depends. I try to hide. It doesn't have to be a big tree. There's one spot that I use frequently. There's like a grapevines. There's a big round thing of grapevines there. Mm-hmm. And I get in it. I just back right up in it. And that seems to work quite well. I have sat in front of a big tree, but I like things in front of me.
Yeah.
I like to hide behind things.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of down trees, so it's not hard to find something to back into.
Yeah, big blowdown.
Yeah.
You might like to listen to the John Coffey episode that I did. It was, I think, number 5, so all the way back, and he hunts strictly from the ground and with recurve bow.
Yeah, nice.
And he killed a nice big 170s buck from the ground, tucked up behind a blowdown, the root ball.
Right.
He likes to get behind root balls.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of interesting stuff. He was in a ghillie suit and face paint and all that. And he was all... Do you wear camo?
I wear camo clothes, obviously, but usually I just pull a thing up over my nose. That day, I didn't even have that opportunity. I'd sat there for most of the day thinking... There was some babies that had come out, but they were far enough away I wasn't too worried. There was an apple tree right in front of me. But then when she popped out, everything happened so quick. I couldn't pull up anything. That's why I was holding my breath, because I didn't want her to see it.
Yeah.
And I could see hers, and just didn't have the chance to get ready. But it was okay. It worked.
All right, if you folks are looking for a muzzleloader, you can't go wrong with a Woodman Arms muzzleloader. They're made locally, right up here in New Hampshire. They are accurate, dependable, the most accurate and dependable muzzleloader on the market. People from all over the world are buying this gun. It's extremely light. It carries great. You don't have to clean it if you use Blackhorn 209 powder, and it just keeps shooting and cutting holes in the paper like you wouldn't believe. I've went around and shot a couple friends' muzzleloaders. They're Woodmans, and they are plunking them right in there, as Lanny Benoit says. And I haven't received mine yet, but I can't wait to. I'm sure they all shoot exactly the same because the owner there, Mark Woodman, is a machinist and an inventor. And, he has crafted this thing to shoot with precision. Get on to www.woodmanarms.com, check them out, or give Timmy Bolduck a call, 603-608-7218. He knows everything there is to know about those guns and will be happy to take your call and answer it. Do you weigh your bucks?
I don't.
No.
A lot of people do, and that's just not something that we've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Because I bet he was a big...
Yeah, I don't think he was as big as some of the other deer I've shot.
Yeah, really?
No, because we have a little cart that we carry him on. My husband and I got him on that cart with no problem. I've had other deer that I've had to go get my brother to help because we couldn't pick them up.
Yeah, wow.
So... body-wise, I don't think he was as big.
Yeah, I hear that too. And, interviewing all these people, so a lot of people say, well, the ones with the biggest racks, they don't typically also have the huge bodies because, I don't know. their nutrients are going to the rack instead of packing on fat or something. I don't know.
I've shot some doe that were far bigger than him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. We've got some big doe around there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yep.
Maybe a 200-pound doe.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah.
we weighed them, because there are some big doe there.
Yep.
And we shoot the bigger ones of those too. We weighed them out, try to get the biggest one.
Now, do you have meat cattle on your farm?
We do. We kind of right now raise just babies, and then we sell them.
Yep.
But we don't. We used to have some milk cows that we raised, but not heavy into the beef. We have them. We're not really. I don't know.
Do you prefer venison over beef? Is what I like. I like to see farmers who've raise all kinds of meat. You like venison better or what?
I don't.
No.
Not myself. No. And usually I only get one deer a year for us to eat.
Yep.
But I had an old dog that couldn't eat anything at all, so I was getting him a couple a year.
Yep.
To keep him going. He
Yep.
was 150-pound dog.
Wow.
But
what kind of dog was he?
he was just a mutt.
Yeah.
Just big mutt. He passed this year, so I probably will go back to my one deer. One
Well,
deer in the freezer.
Sorry to hear that. I had a pet pass this year too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awful actually, but
Yeah. Go out and get one for him this year and honor him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
You'll be thinking a lot probably. That's what's great about hunting too is just the mental time.
It is
Being able to decompress.
And you do. You spend a lot of time thinking. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, you spend the whole day.
but
thinking.
it's nice. It's a nice getaway.
I think the mental health benefits of hunting is something doesn't get talked about a ton, but a lot of people out there could benefit from just getting some fresh air and sitting in a stand.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I was even thinking it could be. I could see it becoming a new thing. People who don't even hunt, but buying tree stands to go put them up in a tree and just their happy place to go sit.
With video camera or something, that'd
right.
be cool. Yeah.
It's just a bench up in a tree with a good view.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Do you guys have a lot of coyotes around your
Unfortunately,
your farm?
yes, we do.
Do you do any coyote hunting or?
Well, if we have the opportunity to take one, we certainly will. I don't purposely go out and hunt them. I'm not fond of them.
Yeah.
I've seen them around. I've seen them in packs, and I guess I'm not convinced they wouldn't come after you if they were hungry. So that might just be my thing, but I don't care for them.
Yeah.
But they are around. We've got bear around there too, though. So.
Yeah. Yeah, bear take out a lot of fawns.
Yeah, I'm not fond of them either.
So
but they're there. So.
You haven't done any bear hunting there? Or have you?
No. My nephew got a bear a few years ago.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Did you try that meat?
No.
Yeah. I've heard mixed things, but it's all about how you prepare it, I guess. But
Yeah, no, I didn't. The bear actually smelled bad to me, so I couldn't get past that. He was smelly.
Yeah. What do you guys do in the off season? So you mentioned your brother found some big sheds. Do you like to go out shed hunting at all? Or?
I do,
Yep.
and I didn't find too many this year. My brother actually found them because he's a farmer. He's in a tractor, so he's driving way up high, and he's got the
I always wondered how many.
the vantage point. He sees. He gets a lot of them.
I wondered how many get ran over by farmers. But.
We've ran over a few, and then brought them in the house and stuff. But I do go out looking, scouting and ramming through the woods. I don't typically find the ones that he finds just driving in the tractor, though. It's luck, I guess. But
Yeah. So you like hunting near scrapes when they're fresh. Do you do any mock scrapes or do you do any alterations?
Again, I don't. I've seen my brother do it, and he'll do it, and then I'll go to the stand that he was using a few days later. The deer do use them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't do it.
Yeah.
He does though.
Yeah, so it seems like you want to be as stealthy as possible. You don't want them to know you're there. No calling, no.
Nope, I try
no
to be
sense.
quiet and sneak in, sneak out, and I just sit and wait. To me, it's just as much fun. Don't get me wrong, I like shooting big deer, but it's just as much fun as watching them babies come in, and the moms, and I've had them so close I could hear them crunch their nuts.
Yeah.
When I'm sitting on a bucket, that's pretty darn close.
Yeah.
And they never knew I was there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty intense too. I like watching them.
Yeah, being on the bucket, being on the ground, it is a different experience than being up in a tree.
It sure is.
It's all I ever hunted was on the ground in Vermont, and I've only been in a tree for 4 years. But yeah, when they get real close to you on the ground,
Yeah,
it's
your heart's
something.
right here. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing. I had a buck. I don't know, must be 7-8 years ago now in Vermont. I was sitting by a blowdown, had the log to my left, and there was another tree right behind me that I was leaning against, and the root ball came up here, and I see it was only a 3-pointer, and like one side just broke off. He's coming right down, right next to the root ball. He almost stepped on my foot.
Yeah, see,
and he ran into the butt of my gun almost.
Yeah, see, that's cool. That's just cool.
Yeah, and if you stay still enough, you know, they will come.
As long as they don't smell you or nothing. Yeah. They if you don't move, they don't see you. It's pretty amazing.
Now, do you guys drive around at all and like look at fields at night, or you know, purposefully, or?
I could do that right at my house.
That's what I mean. Oh yeah, just.
I got farm. We have hay fields on each cornfields, hay fields on each side of our house.
Yep.
So I can just step out in my porch and spotlight.
Yep.
If I wanted to.
Yep.
Or we sit above, so we could do across the road too if I wanted to, but. Nah, I don't do that.
Yeah, something fun I always grew up doing is my dad would take me looking for deer. You know, you leave at 5:30, go out
just
for an hour
around.
and a half, just ride around, joyride. Yeah. No, there's something. You're not even like strategizing to hunt them.
Right.
We couldn't hunt in any of these areas where we did it, but just to go see a bunch of deer. Yeah.
When my kids were little, we did that.
Yeah.
We drove around, see deer, but nah, I don't do that now.
Do your kids hunt at all, or?
They don't, believe it or not. Not one of them.
No. So you and your brother.
Yeah, just me and him.
Yeah.
And that's okay, too.
Yep. Does he have kids, or?
He does, and his son does hunt.
Yeah.
And doesn't really bow hunt much, but
yep.
He does gun hunt. And they have a farm, too, just not far from us.
So, when did you start bow hunting? Do you remember the year or approximately?
I don't. I think I was probably 22, 23.
Yep.
I was around that age. I liked shooting bow in school. So it wasn't, a big jump for me, and I was shooting target anyway, so to go from that to hunting.
So you guys had that in school?
We did.
Yeah,
we did have
That's great.
Yeah. I don't think they have it now, but...
Was it longbows?
Yeah, it was longbows.
And is that how you started hunting, with longbow or with compound?
No, I started with a compound.
Yeah. What were you shooting back then? Do you remember the brand?
Absolutely, and I remember the day I bought it because I had to argue with the guy. Because it's hard for a woman to buy stuff.
Yeah.
For hunting, because, especially back then, they didn't... If you walked in with your husband to buy a bow, can I see that bow? They hand it to him.
Yeah.
And that's how it was. But I started with a PSE Edge 50/50, and I still have that bow. I don't use it anymore, but I'll never get rid of it. I've used it for many years, and... Still have it.
So what were you arguing with the guy about?
Well, I asked him if I could see the bow, and he said, well, I don't have any bows that would fit you. All I got's a 60-pounder. And can I see the bow? So he takes it off and he hands it to him, and it's like, wait a minute. So I grabbed it, and I pulled it right back, and the guy's, he kind of gives you a look like... I said, can I try it out? And he's like, I don't have any other poundage. I said, I'm okay with this. Can I try this out? It took a little bit. It's hard, though,
Yeah.
Even, I think 4 or 5 years ago, I went to a store to buy, I wanted a different color. I wanted a Muddy Girl Camel gun, okay? So I seen one in the store. We went there. I asked the guy if I could see that gun. He opens it up, and doesn't he hand it to my husband? It's like, seriously? And it's just, anyway. It's a struggle. It's been a struggle.
Yeah, and I bet that's just, and that's in different parts of the country. It'll be like that. I think, around where I'm from, I was speaking, I had a woman on the podcast a few weeks ago, and she said, she doesn't see any of that. Everybody, wants to help. It might just be the part of the country you're in.
Maybe, and the people that I know aren't like that, the people that have been around for years, but you still get those stores. You go in there and... You go into a big gun store with a man, and they're going to talk to him. They just do.
Yeah.
I guess just...
Maybe don't go in with a man next time.
There you go. Just go in by myself. They'd have to talk to you, right?
Say, hey, by the way, you see this award?
Yeah.
I won two of these. I'm a pretty darn good hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said you target archery. We were doing target archery. Were you competition at all ever? Did you get that deep into it? Or?
We were shooting. There was a place in Whalen, a couple places actually in Whalen that we shot leagues in. There was another place outside Portageville that we shot leagues in. And again, you still had that same thing going on. No, I don't want to shoot with her. She's a girl.
Yeah. Oh, you were trailblazing.
Yeah, and then I went to a 3D archery shoot once, and it was my son and I, and he might have been 14 at the time. I'm not sure, but You went in with groups of 4, and there was only him and I, so they had to put 2 people with us, and obviously I was the only woman there, and that's what I got. I don't want to shoot with her.
That's bullshit.
So my son just was snickering, and he goes, "Mom, you want to shoot first?" And I'm like, "No, I don't," because you feel bad when you hear that. So the guy shot, and they were close. They were pretty good shots. And mine were right in the money. So after
Bullseye.
so after like the 3rd or 4th one, actually it was the bear that got him because they didn't get the heart in the bear. It's a different spot.
Mm-hmm.
After that, they were a whole lot better the rest of the way through. But
yeah, they were nice to
yeah. I got them then.
Well, it's still a shame that they got people.
People don't like women hunting. Not everybody likes women to hunt.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, I think I haven't experienced that. Again, it might just be Boston suburbs versus farm country,
right,
New York.
Right. Yeah, like I said, most of the people that I'm around or that we know locally, they aren't like that at all. But
yeah, we want more. We need more women hunters.
You don't see them a lot. I really don't know any others. I had a friend that hunted for a while, gun hunted. She never bow hunted, but she doesn't do it anymore either. So
yeah, I had the father-daughter combo in here last night. Yeah, she was 10, and she killed her beautiful buck when she was 8.
Oh, nice.
With a crossbow,
oh,
and
nice.
she's right into it. So
and she'll be there.
She'll be there.
Oh, good.
Yep. You just love to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And hear that. You might also like to go back and listen to the Brian Visco podcast that I did. He was a target archer, and he gets all nerds out about target archery. I think he was number 9 in the U.S. at one point.
Oh, no kidding!
Was
wow.
close to being Olympic level. He took it to a serious obsession level.
I don't know if I was quite that serious. When I say target, I was actually shooting that PSE bow with a Keller pendulum sight for target. That's what I was using.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was using target sights or anything.
Right. Yeah. Using your deer hunting sight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've got 3D competitions, total archery challenge now. I mean, it's a huge thing that's starting to take off, or traveling and big festival, 3,000 people going to do it, and
no kidding.
You got the hunter class and you have the target archery class. So a lot of hunters just like to get out and do it.
Well, yeah, it's good practice. Yeah. It's better than shooting at paper.
How often do you practice, or not as much with a crossbow?
I still hunt with the bow or the regular compound, but I don't shoot it much because of my neck. So I'll go out, and you're familiar with your equipment. You've had it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
If I shoot 5 arrows and they're right in there, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
It's good to go. Same with my crossbow, and I probably only shoot that 3 times. If it's right in there, I'm done. I'm not going to mess around. They just don't.
Yeah.
Back when I was shooting a lot, though, it was nothing to shoot 600-800 arrows a day.
Wow.
I was shooting lots.
Wow.
That's
a lot.
You don't need to do that anymore. I mean, I did it. I don't do it anymore.
So do you did you stay with 60 pounds for
the last 3 years? Maybe I turned it down to 50.
Yeah.
But I was at 60 the whole time.
Yeah. That's what I hunt with now, 60. I started with, when I first got into it, I said I want to be able to pull it back easy, give me 50, and then I bumped it up to 60. But I think 60 is great.
Yeah, it's
all you need.
50 is pretty much all I need now.
Yeah.
It's enough.
Well, longbow anyway, 45, 40, 45, 50, and a lot of guys are killing a lot of deer with longbows.
Right.
Yeah, you guys must get a ton of snow there too, being near Buffalo, or no?
We're not really near Buffalo. We're just more that way.
Yep.
Actually, we're south of Rochester.
So you're not too far from Canandaigua, probably.
Probably
right?
an hour.
Yep.
About an hour from Canandaigua, yeah.
So that whole country there.
Yeah. We do get a lot of snow occasionally, not every year, though. Just sometimes.
You like hunting in the snow?
I do.
Yeah.
I like the big, thick snowflakes.
Oh, yeah.
I like the rain, too. I've shot a lot of reindeer. A lot of deer in the rain.
Yeah. So what do you see? I like, not many people like to hunt in the rain. I love it.
I do, too.
It's super quiet. I mean, it's harder for them to smell you unless your thermals are going down to them. But they seem to move a lot in the rain.
They are moving a lot more. I don't know why that is, but you see more deer. You see more bucks in the rain. Or in a snowstorm.
Do you know, have you heard of the Benoits before?
I have.
Yeah.
I have,
the Vermont hunting family and legendary hunters, legendary trackers. I did an interview with Lanny Benoit a couple months ago now, or a month ago, and we were talking about rain, and he said, oh yeah, Rain is
Yeah.
the big bucks get up and move around in the
They
rain.
do.
Yeah.
In the snow, too.
And in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to, if you want to go and find a track, he goes right after, obviously right after a snow or right after a rain when it's been snowing, but it rained a little bit. Go look in the morning. You're going to see a ton of movement. So I love it. I've only killed four deer with my bow. Again, I've been hunting with it for 4 years, but just seriously the last 2, and I've killed 4 deer with it, and 2 of them been in the rain.
Yeah, I like it so much better.
Yeah.
I mean...
And right when it stops raining, too.
Or just before it starts. So
Yeah.
you get that calmness.
Yeah.
Deer seem to move right then. It's a short window, but you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, what do you want to... Got anything else you would like to say to the folks out there?
Not really. I mean...
Did you have fun on doing
I did.
this?
It was great. Thank you again.
No, you're welcome. I think that was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what your buck looks like. I don't want you to show me any pictures. I want to see it in person when you get there.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Christine, and happy hunting this year.
Thank you. You too.
Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/Hunt Suburbia, as we'll be releasing a lot more video content this year. And again, that Lanny Benoit Living Legend series is coming out that you will not want to miss. Really looking forward to that. So get on and subscribe. www.youtube.com/Hunt Suburbia. Big bucks I've been dreaming often, every night till I'm in a coffin. Vermont woods to the burbs of Boston, I'm looking for a tree to get lost in. Crisp mornings, little dust in the snow. Quality time, just me and my bow. Fall evenings, I know just where to go for some quality times for me and my bow. It's just me and my